Good morning, wet shavers, coffee lovers, and podcast listeners everywhere. It's Mark with GeorgeToon.com. It's time for another second cup. So grab a cup of coffee, kick back, relax, put in those earbuds, adjust that speaker volume, and let's talk some wet shaving and a few other things in podcast form. What is Second Cup? Well, Second Cup is a podcast that will give you some additional information that didn't make the Monday morning mailbag deadline. This might be something that is time sensitive. For instance, a sale that could be ending before the next Monday morning mailbag hits the airwaves, or a piece of late-breaking information that viewers have passed along that is equally time sensitive, or something else regarding the wet shaving world that needs to be broadcast in a timely fashion. And we'll also have some time to chit-chat and discuss some other things like coffee, movies, streaming shows, books, that sort of thing. So thanks for tuning in to Second Cup. And I hope you subscribe to the podcast, where you can also find episodes of the Monday Morning Mailbag in podcast form. I hope you're enjoying a cup of coffee with me. We'll get the show underway in just a moment. Thanks for joining me. Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the July 27, 2026 episode of Second Cup. We're wrapping up July and heading into August, the dog days of summer. And I know a lot of you right now throughout the United States, and I think even in parts of Europe, you're under a heat dome. Certainly here in the United States, I was looking at the weather this morning, the weather report, and they were saying, wow, a lot of the lower Midwest into the South, the Southwest are going to be under this heat dome. Whereas here in the Great Lakes area, Northeast Ohio, we are experiencing very nice, cool, pleasant weather. Now, we had some really hot days towards the end of June, rolling into 4th of July celebrations, some really, really hot weather. And now we've had this real cool down. And the nights have been very pleasant. We've had 55 and 60 degree temperatures overnight, and we've probably gotten as warm as maybe 80, 83, maybe 85 degrees. But for the most part, we're anywhere from 75 to 80 degrees. Now this morning, the overnight low is about 58, 60 degrees, something like that. And we're going to probably get up to about 79, 80 degrees. It's kind of an overcast day. It's not sunny, but it's a very pleasant summer day. And we had a really cool shave this morning. Yes, a big thank you to viewer Charles K. We received those Lord Cool razor blades, and we did a shave with them this morning. And recorded the review, and boy, oh boy, what a great, cool shave. And we did it with the understanding that a lot of the country, much of the country, is going to be under this heat dome. So we wanted to present to you a really nice, cool, cold water, refreshing, cool shave. And mission accomplished. It was marvelous. And I won't reveal too much. No spoiler alerts here, but suffice it to say, a really terrific razor blade. I now understand why all the viewers out there have been talking about Lord Cool blades. And boy, oh boy, a big thank you to Charles K. again for sending those along to the channel. They really are a terrific blade. Let me just wrap up by saying, they are comfortable. They are sharp. They're very smooth. They're labeled as super stainless steel, and I don't know if that involves a coating of any kind, a chromium coating, a platinum coating, a titanium coating. All these different coatings that are out there that you can get on razor blades. It just says super stainless steel. So I'm going to have to do a little bit of a deeper dive and learn a little bit more about the Lord Cool blades. A big thank you to Roderick McLeod. As you know, if you saw the 3MB this morning, he sent along a wealth of information regarding Lord blades. And we've got a link to their website where you can go down that that Egyptian rabbit hole, as he labeled it, and learn all about it. So that's where I'm going to go after this broadcast to learn a little bit more about Lord Cool blades. But boy, oh boy, they were just wonderful. I just had a really, really terrific shave with it this morning, a cold water shave. And again, I'm very, very tempted to use the Jimmy V method of cold water shave. We discussed this again on this morning's Monday morning mailbag. Jimmy shared with us his specific technique in doing a cold water shave. He gets that razor and he puts it into a little bowl of ice water with ice cubes. And he really cools down that razor head while he's lathering up for a shave pass. And when he pulls it out, he's got a really nice, cool razor head to shave with. And of course, the Phoenix Shaving Copper Dock does the best with preserving that cold environment on that razor head, which is why he enjoys it so much. But he uses other razors using the same technique. And I'm very, very tempted to do that. It looks marvelous. Looks like a lot of fun as well. So a big thanks to Jimmy V for passing that along. A big thanks to Roderick McLeod for passing along all the information on Lord razor blades. And a big, big thank you to Charles K for very kindly and generously sending along the Lord Cool razor blades to test drive. And he also sent some other blades that we're going to be including in giveaways, upcoming giveaways. So thanks again to Charles K for your generosity and support of the channel. And also big, big thank you to Roderick McLeod and Jimmy V for their generosity and support of the channel as well. So yeah, it was a great shave. I'm going to edit the video and hopefully get it posted soon. I want to get it posted sooner than later so that it's a little more timely, a little more current with what's going on with the weather patterns throughout the United States and other parts of the world. But yeah, a great, great shave. And I'm looking forward to editing it and getting it posted and that sort of thing. So great to be with you this morning. Hey, are you enjoying a cup of coffee? I sure hope you're enjoying a cup of coffee with me. I am enjoying, once again, Kirkland Summit Keurig Cup coffee. Boy, this is a terrific coffee. We talk about it almost every week on the Monday Morning Mailbag because I've got so many of them, and we're enjoying it here in the official George 30 degrees coffee mug. 30 degrees, a light touch. Let the razor do all the work, gentlemen. And those are available online at the George Toon Shaving web store. So you can check that out and really enjoy the coffee mug with George, having a cup of coffee with George, and also having a cup of coffee with you this morning. So again, I hope you're enjoying a cup of coffee with me this morning. I hope it's a great day where you're at. I hope the weather is very agreeable. I hope the summer weather is making your day shine today. So thanks so much for tuning in and sitting down and having a cup of coffee with me and talking a little bit of wet shaving. So let's pay a few bills and we'll get the show kicked off in just a moment. Well, we recently received something from Phoenix Shaving in our email, and the headline reads, "We accidentally invented something." And they're talking about brush soap. That's right. Now for something completely different. Brush soap. Oh, you didn't know we made a brush soap? Oh, you didn't know brush soap was a thing? Brush soap has quietly been one of our best sellers for nearly a decade, and yet it's still one of those products many wet shavers don't realize they need until they use it. Here's the surprising part. Just because your shave brush spends its life buried in soap doesn't mean it's actually getting clean. In fact, quite the opposite. Shave soap is not a cleansing soap by design. You see, body soap is formulated to cleanse. Shave soap has an entirely different job. It's engineered to produce dense, stable lather while providing glide, cushion, and protection during your shave. Cleaning the brush simply isn't part of its mission. Over time, residual soap, minerals from your water, skin oils, and everyday grime begin collecting deep inside the knot. It happens so gradually that most people never notice it. Their favorite brush slowly loses its softness, its backbone changes, and lather becomes just a little less effortless than it used to be. That's exactly the problem brush soap was designed to solve. The funny thing is, the idea didn't begin in the workshop. It began during a live episode of the Wet Shavers Roundtable over a decade ago. Ideas have a funny way of showing up when you aren't looking for them, no? Truth be told, brush soap wasn't born in a laboratory. It wasn't the result of months of isolated experimentation or some grand plan to reinvent brush cleaners. It started during a live episode of the Wet Shavers Roundtable, the very first live wet shaving talk show we put together over a decade ago, way before I'd lather be shaving even. One episode, as the conversation wandered, so did our imaginations. Alcohol may have been involved. Before long, the guys and I found ourselves tossing around ideas for what the ultimate brush cleaner might look like. What ingredients would we use? What would make it different? What would actually improve the process instead of simply giving people another puck of soap in a different package? By the time the show ended, I couldn't let it go. I walked away from the microphone, headed straight for the workshop, and immediately started experimenting. Alcohol may still have been involved. The chemistry came together fairly quickly. Sodium borate and white vinegar have earned their reputations over generations for breaking down soap scum and stubborn residue. So there wasn't much reason to reinvent that particular wheel. What fascinated me was something else entirely: the shape. Anyone who has followed Phoenix Shaving for a while knows I have a bit of an obsession with surface area. Once you begin noticing it, you see it everywhere in nature and engineering. It solves problems quietly and efficiently. So I kept asking myself one question: why are brush soaps flat? Instead of pouring the soap into another ordinary puck, I began experimenting with raised nubs. At first glance, they look a little odd, but the more I used them, the more they made sense. These rounded fingers increase the available surface area while allowing the knot to glide between them rather than smashing the bristles against the flat surface. Loading became faster. Cleaning became easier. Natural hair brushes especially seem to appreciate the gentler approach. The more I used it, the more convinced I became that I had stumbled onto something genuinely useful. One of my favorite moments came later when Mantic59 of Sharpologist told me brush soap had rescued a brush he'd owned for more than 10 years. That's exactly what I had hoped for. Not another product, but a second chance for a favorite brush, or something like that. To this day, every time I pick up one of those little pucks with its strange-looking fingers, I think back to that live roundtable episode. It's a reminder that some of the best ideas don't arrive while you're trying to invent something. Sometimes they simply appear in the middle of a good shaving conversation. Shave on and stay groovy. If you want to take a trip back into the early days of shavedom, check out some past episodes of the Wet Shavers Roundtable. It was a simpler time, and alcohol may have been involved. Wow, that's marvelous. So check out brush soap from Phoenix Shaving. It looks like a marvelous product, and I think every wet shaver should have it in their shave den. Absolutely. Brush soap from Phoenix Shaving. Give it a look. Well, I received this email and question from viewer David Trinks, and he writes, "Hi, Mark. The term traditional wet shaving is used by virtually everyone who shaves using the prescribed methods. What, in your estimation, would be considered non-traditional wet shaving?" Just wondering, it's one of the things I ponder, and that's from David Trinks. That's a wonderful question. And, I'll take a swipe at it, to be honest with you. I think there's going to be a lot of discussion on this, and I'm going to open it up to all the viewers out there. We're also going to present this on an upcoming Monday morning mailbag, but I kind of want to get the ball rolling right now on Second Cup. And in my humble opinion, non-traditional wet shaving is a cartridge razor and a can of shaving cream. And that's it. You slap the cream on with your hand. There's no brush, there's no bowl, and you use a multi-bladed cartridge razor to shave it off. There's no prep, there's no pre-shave routine. There's no real care or concern for skin health, in my opinion. It's just a slap it on, shave it off kind of a routine, kind of a process. I'd imagine that the lubricating strips and other gimmicks that cartridge razors promote are meant to take the place of pre-shave prep. Now, they might take the place of pre-shave prep, but they are not equivalent. Again, this is my humble opinion. It's a great question and one that I'm very happy to open up to the audience. So if you'd like to weigh in, please email me at mondaymailbag@gmail.com and we'll share your thoughts on an upcoming Monday morning mailbag. What do you consider to be non-traditional wet shaving? Again, my my view is that non-traditional wet shaving is a cartridge razor and a can of shaving cream, and that's it. Those are the two ingredients that I think constitute non-traditional wet shaving. You dispense the shaving cream from the can, you slap it on with your hand, and then you grab your cartridge razor that has the lubricating strips and other things in there and the multi-blades, and you shave, zip, 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 and you're done. That's a non-traditional wet shave. That's what it is in my humble opinion. What say you? Please send along your comments to mondaymailbag@gmail.com, and we'll share it with all the viewers out there when we present this once more on the Monday Morning Mailbag. My thanks to David Trinks for a terrific, terrific question that I think is going to generate a lot of discussion. Thanks again, David. Really do appreciate it. We received this email from viewer Dan Stife, and I believe that's how it's pronounced. It's capital STYF. Dan, I sure hope I pronounced your last name correctly. And he writes, "Hi, Mark. I'm behind on my 3MB viewings and was wondering if you've reviewed or looked into the Smile Razor by Razor Rock. It's specifically designed for head and body shaving and has a head that produces a curve that leads to more blade coverage. I just got one myself and will be taking it for a spin across my head this weekend. Interested to know your thoughts." And he sent along the link. Thanks very much, Dan. I think we may have mentioned this before on Second Cup. I'm not entirely sure. I seem to remember this, recall it, but just vaguely. But boy, oh boy, that sure looks like an interesting razor, Dan. Thanks so much for sending this along. And please, if you can review it for the channel, that would be wonderful. Here's the information regarding the Razor Rock Smile. Here's what they have to say here. Founders Series. The Razor Rock Smile Head and Body Razor is part of our Founders Series, a collection of experimental razors created for enthusiasts who enjoy experiencing new designs before they reach full production. These razors are manufactured in very small batches and require significantly more machining time than a standard production model. Because dedicated production fixturing does not yet exist, manufacturing costs are substantially higher. In addition, every Founder Series razor carries the cost of extensive design, engineering, and prototyping. At this stage, we do not know whether the Smile will ever enter full-scale production. This may be a one-time release and could become unavailable once the initial batch is sold out. Well, I just checked the page and it is marked sold out. So who knows if it's ever coming back. So Dan, you might have a collector's item right there. The Founder Series is not intended for everyone. It is designed specifically for shaving enthusiasts who want to experience something genuinely new and participate in the evolution of future Razor Rock products. And here's the information on the actual Razor Rock Smile Razor. It's called the Razor Rock Smile Head and Body Razor. Every now and then, a razor comes along that challenges the way we've always thought shaving should work. The Razor Rock Smile is one of those razors. A little backstory. I've been shaving my head for over 20 years and designing razors for more than a decade. Like many head shavers, I started with cartridge razors such as the Gillette Sensor and Mach 3. They worked well enough when shaving every day, but if I let a few days pass, they would clog constantly and become a nuisance to rinse. Eventually, I switched to the Gillette Guard. It clogged less, but the highly flexible pivot encouraged me to apply pressure without realizing it, often resulting in irritation. Over the years, I experimented with countless safety razors and ultimately settled on the RazorRock BBS Open Comb as my personal favorite. It delivered everything I wanted: no clogging, no irritation, no cuts, and consistently comfortable shaves. There was only one small drawback. When shaving the rounded surface of a head, only a relatively small section of a straight razor blade is actually making contact at any given moment. It wasn't a major problem, but it always seemed like there had to be a better way. Then my wife planted a seed. After years of designing razors, she looked at me one day and said, "You've made so many razors for men, I think it's time you made one for me, for shaving legs." The idea sat in the back of my mind until one afternoon when I was peeling an apple with a curved blade. That's when it hit me. Why are razor heads always straight? Human bodies aren't. Heads are curved, legs are curved, arms are curved. Almost every area we shave has some degree of contour. What if a razor head could better match those natural curves? I searched everywhere for examples of a safety razor using a curved or concave shaving geometry and couldn't find anything quite like it. At first, I assumed there must be a reason. Maybe it was dangerous. Maybe it simply wouldn't work. I brought the concept to our head machinist, fully expecting him to tell me I had lost my mind. Instead, he loved the challenge. We started sketching ideas immediately. The first prototype was machined and, to my surprise, it shaved my head beautifully. Then I handed it to my wife. After her first leg shave, she stepped out of the shower and said, "Wow, this actually works great. I'm keeping it." At that moment, a razor was born. Of course, the first prototype was only the beginning. It took numerous revisions to refine the geometry and ensure that safety and ease of use remained the highest priorities. The result is the RazorRock Smile, a unique dual-purpose razor designed specifically for curved surfaces of the body. One side features our innovative concave shaving geometry, allowing more blade edge to engage rounded surfaces. The opposite side uses a traditional straight geometry, giving you a familiar shaving experience whenever you want it. We also produced two versions: the Smile Standard, optimized for maximum comfort and everyday use, and the Smile Plus, featuring a slightly increased blade gap and effective blade gap, designed for users who prefer a touch more efficiency while maintaining a comfortable shave. Recently, I brought the Smile to my friend Matt Pisarcik at Razor Emporium. After examining it, he confirmed something I already suspected: women don't buy safety razors. He's probably right. Selling a safety razor designed with leg shaving in mind may be an uphill battle, but the Smile isn't just for women. It's a true head and body razor. Use it on your head, your legs, your arms, your chest, your back, anywhere curved surfaces make traditional razors less than ideal. Will it become the next great shaving revolution? That's for our Founders Series customers to decide. What I can tell you is that I'm incredibly proud of what we've created. It represents the kind of experimentation and innovation that originally inspired me to start designing razors in the first place. And even if the Smile never becomes a bestseller, at least my wife is happy. And as we all know, happy wife, happy life. Note, please do not expect perfection with these razors. Although the quality is extremely high, the razor probably will not be absolutely 100% perfect. They are machined and finished to a very high user grade, not a jewel piece. The odd mark, nick, dent, or blemish can be expected, and there may be very tiny spots of color variations on the anodizing that arise from where the parts are held in the anodizing process. If you are looking for or expecting jewel quality, this probably isn't the razor for you. How about that? That is really, really terrific. And I sure hope they bring it back. That would be a wonderful razor to try. So a big, big thank you to viewer Dan Stife for very kindly giving us the heads up on the RazoRock Smile razor. And Dan, please let us know what your shaving experience is with it. I'm very, very intrigued, very, very curious. So please let us know. Feel free to send video, photos, or write up whatever else you want, whatever else you want to send along. This sounds marvelous. And wow, hopefully they'll be bringing it back. It looks fantastic. It really does. Just Google RazoRock Smile, RazoRock Smile Safety Razor, something like that. It'll come right up. You'll see the product page. Really, really neat. The blade actually smiles at you in the razor head. Yeah, it's got a curved smile. Really, really neat. Hey, Dan, thanks again for the heads up on the RazoRock Smile razor. Really do appreciate it. Well, on this morning's Monday morning mailbag, I was showing you my vintage Gillette slim adjustable razors and the different platings I have on a couple of them. I've got the nickel plating by razorplate.com. Chris Evett did a great job. And I also have a gun coat plating, a gun coat coating, I guess you could say, done by North Shore Razors. That was really, really neat. Well, that brings me to this offer that just came in the email the other day over the weekend. Now, I don't know how long this is going to last, so you might want to check it out ASAP. This is from the Razor Emporium. Buy one, get one, 50% off razor services. Straight razors, tune-ups, and revamps. Don't wait. Whether it's your daily driver or a family heirloom, now is the perfect time to give it the attention it deserves. Use code SUMMERSERVICE, all in capital letters, Summer Service, to receive buy one service, get a second service, 50% off for a limited time, and keep your favorite razors performing for years to come. So get over to their service page and use that code SUMMERSERVICE to get one service and 50% off on the second service. I don't know how long this deal is going to last. Want to give it to you this morning just in case you've got a razor or two that you want revamped. Here you can save a little bit of money and get some great service from the Razor Emporium. Buy one service, get one service, 50% off. Use the code SUMMERSERVICE at Razor Emporium. Give it a look. Oh, one more thing. Summer Service is all capital letters, just so you know. Summer Service, all capital letters. Now, before I get out of here, I'm going to recommend a movie to you. And once again, I'm recommending a favorite only because we mentioned it this morning on the Monday Morning Mailbag. And my movie recommendation this week is North by Northwest, starring Cary Grant. You might remember the YouTube clip we talked about this morning with the hilarious shaving scene. Cary Grant trying to scrape together a shave with the tiniest lady's razor you've ever seen. It's a perfect little moment of comedy before the film launches into one of the most exciting thrillers ever made. Grant's character is swept into a whirlwind of mistaken identity, government secrets, daring escapes, and some of the most iconic action sequences in movie history, from the crop duster chase across the open plains to the heart-pounding finale on Mount Rushmore. The film mixes suspense, wit, and Cary Grant's effortless charm in a way that still feels fresh and fun. If you enjoy smart storytelling with plenty of excitement, this is a terrific watch. Give it a look. North by Northwest, directed by Alfred Hitchcock, starring Cary Grant. And that wraps up another Second Cup. Thanks so much for tuning in again. I really do appreciate it. I sure hope you enjoyed today's show. If you did, please share, please subscribe, and pass it along to a fellow wet shaver or friend. My thanks to everyone who commented and contributed to today's show, and I mean this sincerely. Without you, this microphone would be silent. If Second Cup or the Monday Morning Mailbag aren't showing up in your regular podcast feed, please drop me a line at mondaymailbag@gmail.com, and we'll try to get it all sorted out. So again, thank you all very much. I look forward to getting together with you again on these podcast airwaves. Until then, enjoy the day, enjoy your shave, and enjoy that second cup.